Echo. Play. There I was, completely minding my own business, driving down Owen Street. And on the way, I saw a couple cops pulling someone over. Because I see a lot of people. Hang on. Echo. Shut up.
You have a painkiller.
Echo. Pause. Sync audio, sync video. Because I am a mandated reporter, I asked the BROCKPORT cop, hey, if I ever see someone tearing through here, and there's a little kid in the street, I got a mandated reporter. Should I call 911? And this fucker, I don't have his badge number, I can call him a fucker on my own time. Told me to call this broad over here, but she never does anything. So, and I told him that, well, she never does anything. He said, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, well, if I see a little kid, man, 2 or 3 years old on a bicycle, a busy parking lot where people drive through it, isn't that an emergency? And he went, bleh. And I walked away. But the Monroe County cop who was behind him, I think, drove around here and ate a couple donuts. Maybe had a cup of coffee. A little while later, that cop goes flying. Probably 40 miles an hour. He hangs a left. Now there's a pond right over here to the right. So it's going to be the beginning part of my story. And just so you guys know, I ain't making this up. I got a couple witnesses. Bear with me while I bust out my fucking secret stash of source tapes. I believe this one is AAA. Excuse me if I'm whistling. Okay. First call, wrote it down, 9112. 9112, hang on. I don't want to appear like I'm drunk. And quick introductions.
Stan James. Okay, we all just saw Monroe County cop flying out of Francis Apartments about 10 minutes ago, and I called the police to let them know, they really shouldn't be flying through a parking lot with little kids. James?
That's right, I saw it.
Hey?
Yeah, I agree, I saw it.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting this down on audio, so when the sergeant gets here, I'll play it for him. And if the sergeant don't get here, I'm going to call 911 back. I want a badge number. I want a sergeant here, and I want their badge number. Because when I called 911, the cop wanted to know where I was. I'm at 2 Lifetime Way, building 12, apartment 1202, which is on his computer screen. Then he wanted to know what phone number I was calling from. And coincidentally enough, it was the exact phone number
I'm calling from.
It's also on his computer screen. And he wants to know my name. So I spelled it out for him. DAVIDG.
Blah, 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 KKVG.
So, you get a sergeant here. Or not. I'm getting a badge number. And we're going to bring you boys to court for screwing up. Okay, I'm setting my voice recording. I'm waiting for the sergeant to come. As soon as the knock on the door comes, I'm going to hit start on this.
This was another call to 911.
Has to tell me. And
Pause. Bring me back to a previous 911 call. It's all connected. Okay, so we did the operator. Let's pick up the sergeant's first call. Sergeant 3953 911.3. You can't hook to my echo.
Rant 1 going into rant 2.
Oh, what the fuck? Hang on. The sergeant.
No, it just said you wanted a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
Sergeant, can I get your...
The sergeant who was coming to meet me right on the way. According to the first operator, he was coming to meet me. I told him, well, if he don't come here, I'm gonna call. And then he calls instead of meeting me.
Badge number, please.
Yeah, 3953.
3953. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm calling to report again, for the second time. Well, actually, no, it's the third time. I came into work this morning and I saw, I think it was a Brockport police officer and a Monroe County police officer had someone pulled over. So I stopped my car, and went and asked the sergeant, how I should report it if I ever see little kids running in the parking lot, because I'm a mandated reporter. And that police officer told me to report it to the building manager, Jane. Now, when I reported to Jane, she doesn't do anything. And I tried to tell the police officer that, and he said, well, they would only come out if it was an emergency. And I said to the police officer, well, wouldn't a little kid, maybe 3 years old, riding his bike in a parking lot be an emergency? And he kind of blabbed me. So I walked away, came back to work. 10 minutes later, I see that same Monroe County police officer flying through the parking lot. I got two other witnesses. I've already got them on tape, seeing that police officer. So I'd like to know who that cop was and what the emergency was.
Oh, what the emergency was? Well,
I'm wondering why.
We had a 4-year-old autistic kid.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that.
Missing and was headed towards a pond.
Okay.
So possibly drowning.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
why
reason
it
enough.
takes emergent. Yes.
Get
So
Google
it
Earth,
takes
Brockport
emergency
people.
over everything else.
Okay.
And now I understand what you're saying in the parking lot, but you need to know that we are trained drivers and we train for situations like that.
Okay.
Whereas we're not normal drivers,
You're emergency drivers. Okay. No, I totally understand where you guys are coming from now. I just wanted to, I'm a mandated reporter. And I saw a police officer flying out of the parking lot.
What does a mandated reporter got to do with anything, though?
Well, if I see a little kid about to get possibly run over by a car, I've been trained to report that.
So, did you see a little kid?
Okay, well, hang on. I'm a United States citizen, and I think I can call 911 when I see a little kid riding a bicycle in a parking lot. Am I mistaken? What's your badge number again?
3953.
Okay, if you want to keep giving me a problem about this call, I'd really like to...
I'm not giving you a problem. I'm trying to answer your
Well,
question.
and I told you I understand.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay, and I understand what you're saying. And you wanted to know why I was calling you. And I started to tell you because I'm a mandated reporter. And then you tried to tell me about what does that have to do with anything. So I dropped it. I'm an American citizen calling the police about a kid possibly driving his bicycle in the parking lot. And 10 minutes later, a police officer flew through the exact same parking lot.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So we're on the same page. Right?
I'm not following you.
Okay.
Amen, brother.
I'm recording this call, by the way.
3953 is a simple man.
Flying through the street. I said, if I see a police officer or anyone speeding in this parking lot, I'm going to call 911 and report it. Thank you for your time.
Fine.
Thank you.
Take care.
You have a nice day.
And now I'm going to bring up my face-to-face encounter with the police. Hang on.
What's your badge number? 026. So you heard about the little autistic kid getting lost by a pond? There's a Monroe County police officer flew through here earlier to get over to that pond.
Now, the COP doesn't mean he's a cop. It means he's the chief of police. I'm talking to the chief of police, and I didn't know it.
We went that way. Oh. But you heard about the story. What was your first name again? Mark? I'm Dave. Nice to meet you. Okay, we might have a problem. Yeah. Because I called 911 to report that Monroe County guy flying out. They didn't call me back. So the sergeant was on his way to talk to me. Yeah, I said, okay, I'll wait. But if I don't hear, if he doesn't get here, I'm going to call back. A second later, the sergeant calls me. He said, I thought you were on your way. I said, no, I thought you wanted to call back. So I explained the story to him. I wanted to know.
He didn't get it. He couldn't connect the dots.
Because I just reported to the same cop earlier that people fly through here and there's little kids. 10 minutes later, there's a cop flying through here to go look for a little autistic kid in that pond over there. That's the only pond I can think of around here. I went that way. Yeah. So how's a cop flying through here to get to a pond over there going that way? Yeah, that's a different department. Okay, but you heard about it. So a Monroe County cop flew out of here and went that way, but it wasn't the exact same cop that was going to report the incident. Yeah, no. You don't know? I don't know. Can you get a sergeant to call me back about this? Because the sergeant I spoke to gave me a little bit of an attitude. And I taped it. And his story ain't adding up now. We're different departments. Okay, that's fine. Who do you work for? Brockport. Okay. So
You pay taxes in Brockport?
No, this is what? This is by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so it was a Monroe County cop that flew out and went that way to go look for an autistic kid in a pond the opposite direction. Could have been. Can you get the sergeant to call me? My phone number. I'm going to go through 911. Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
I have to call 911.
I'm not even going to process. I'm just going to call 911 right now. Are you a cop? And you need me to call 911. Okay? Can you have your sergeant call me, or do I got to call 911 to have your sergeant call me back? Or can you call? It's a different. Okay. Thank you, officer. Thank you. Thank you. 911. I think I can figure out how to dial it.
Beep, beep, beep. But it gets worse. Hang on. I think this chief of police, fuck you, Mike, didn't like me asking him questions. He wanted to know where I lived. Hang on. It's coming up. Let me pause this and find it. Then I'll pick this story up. It's coming. I just don't feel like editing it perfectly. On a rough tick. Where's that more second thing?
I don't live here. Where do you live?
Mark.
You too.
Mark, where do you live? Mark, chief of police of Brockport, wants to know where I live. So hang on. I'm going to pick it up when I tape the sergeant again. Bear with me. Fortunately, I had my tablet with me while they were calling me on my phone that I couldn't record on. So, when he first called me before I could record it, I answered it as I'm pulling over. And I said, well, hang on, I'm driving. And this dumb fucker goes, you're driving? I'm like, no, I pulled over and put on my hazards to take your call. Again, trying to fucking catch me because I don't think this guy's really smart. That's my opinion as an American tax-paying citizen in New York.
No, it's what I said is, I tried to make a report, or I tried to ask cops earlier this morning when I was getting to work, what I should do if I see little kids riding their bike in the parking lot, and the cop told me to call the apartment manager, and I told him, I've called the apartment manager and they don't do anything. It's like, well, don't call us if it's not an emergency. And I said, well, a little 2 or 3-year-old kid riding a bicycle in a parking lot kind of seems to me it could be an emergency. And about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, the Monroe County cop that was right there when I was talking to the police flew through the exact same parking lot to supposedly get to an autistic kid in a pond, by a pond. And there's only one pond I can think of near that particular location.
David,
Yes, yes.
we just talked about this.
Okay,
And
okay. And you told me,
of that.
I'm sorry.
I told you the seriousness of that incident.
Yes.
How we had to get there.
Yes, and the police officer went in the opposite direction of the pond.
They're not. I didn't tell you where it was.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
Okay, well, where was the pond then, please?
What's that?
Where was the pond?
I'm not gonna give you that information.
Okay, can I freedom of information, request that information?
Absolutely.
Okay. So then, after I spoke to you, I asked a police officer about the pond, and he said he didn't have any idea. I said he
Yeah,
didn't
it
have
was
any.
the chief of BROCKPORT. That's who you talked to.
Good. Well, then I already talked to the right person. So I'd like.
And he bumped me back to you.
Okay. Well, who's a lieutenant or a captain? Does he have a boss? Does that chief of police have a boss? Oh, that's right. It's probably me. 'Cause I'm an American citizen.
And a taxpayer
Yes.
in New York.
Your complaint.
Okay.
Looked into it.
Uh-huh.
You need to stop calling 911. If you call every 20
Okay.
minutes,
Okay.
you could potentially get arrested for falsely reporting.
Falsely reporting what? Police? Driving to a parking lot?
We have to do. We have
Okay,
to
I'll tell you what. Never mind. I'm gonna drop this call.
Okay.
Thanks for
that's fine.
calling me back. And I won't bother you unless I see an emergency.
And that was what I did at work today. And I'm getting better with this shit every day, RGH. Because I never drew fucking diddly dick before. Everyone who knows me knows that. So you guys are really fucked. Because my out-of-body experience may have unpacked the mysteries of the universe. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm bringing this one to WCMF officially. Oh, I dropped my microphone. ABC, want to hide my identity, DKG. Fuck. Oh, I almost forgot the phone call I got from the sergeants was this. The only other time that number called me was about a month ago. They called me twice, and I missed their call. This time, I fucking picked up. So I'm backing this up both ways. Audio and story. But this one, I'm picking up tomorrow. Brad? Lori? Give me a fucking call. Because I want a lot of money now.